Students, now let us start with the fructose. We have already studied what is a glucose. So you all are quite aware of the glucose structure. Now we will be studying about the fructose structure. Students, always remember that the molecular formula of glucose and fructose is the same, that is C6H12O6. But the difference is glucose is called as aldohexose, whereas fructose is called as ketohexose. Now why is it so? That is because, my dear students, the structural formula of fructose contains a ketonic group. So when I talk about ketohexose, it means it has a ketonic group along with 6 carbon atoms. The first carbon atom and the last carbon atom of the fructose structure contains CH2OH group. Then the second carbon atom contains a keto group, and that is why we call it as ketohexose. Students, the structural formula of fructose, which you all can see, is the open chain formula of fructose. Fructose is a optically active pentahydroxyketone that contains 3 chiral carbons. Students, I hope you all understand the term optically active. That is, it can rotate itself along a plane of polarized light. If it rotates the plane polarized light to the right, it is called as dextrorotatory, and if it rotates the plane polarized light towards the left, then it is called as levorotatory. Always remember, fructose is a levorotatory ketose. That is, it rotates the plane polarized light towards the left side. If you all see the structure of fructose properly, then you all will be finding out 5 hydroxyl groups, and that is why it is called as pentahydroxy. And as there is a keto group that is present at the C1C2 carbon atom, that is why it is called as pentahydroxy ketone, and it contains 3 chiral carbon atoms. In this slide, let us see the Fischer projection formula for fructose. So students, how will you all distinguish Fischer projection formula from that of the open chain structure? Fischer projection formula is also a linear structure. Only the difference is over here the carbon atoms are represented by the intersection point of the horizontal and vertical lines. That is, it is represented by a skeleton. Whereas if you all see an open chain structure, then you all can see carbon atoms over there. Now students, if you all can see, then it is written as a D negative fructose. Okay. So students, if you all see, then this CH2 is the first carbon atom. Then you all can see at the second carbon atom, it is a ketonic group. Then at C3 carbon, you all can see OH. At C4 carbon, you all can see HOH. At C5, you all can see HOH. And at C6, you all can see CH2OH group. Now, my dear students, why is it represented by D? As we have already studied in D and L configuration system, that when at C5 carbon atom, OH is on the right hand side, it is represented by D. So you all can see that the second last or the lowest chiral carbon has OH on its right hand side. That is why it is represented by D. Whereas you all know that fructose is levorotatory. That is why it is denoted by the minus sign. So that is why the Fischer projection formula for fructose is D minus fructose. Fructose is a optically active compound and it shows a levorotation. That is the rotation of plane polarized light towards the left hand side, and that is why the specific rotation of fructose is minus 92.4 degrees Celsius. The minus sign is because it is having a levorotation, and due to its levorotation it is also called as levulose. Now students, in free state, it exists as a mixture of fructopyranose and fructofuranose. Now why is it called as fructopyranose and fructofuranose? We are going to study about it. And in its combined state, fructose is found in the form of fructofuranose ring structure. Now, why do we call it as a furanose? Because in its ring structure, it forms a five-membered heterocyclic ring that is equivalent to a furan ring. Furan is basically a heterocyclic organic compound and it consists of five-membered aromatic ring, and it will be having four carbon atoms and one oxygen atom. So fructose in its cyclic form will be having a five-membered aromatic ring with four carbon atoms and one oxygen atom. The open chain structure of fructose contain keto group, and ring structure of alpha and beta anomers of fructofuranose contain hemiketal as the functional group. Means in open chain it will be having a keto group, whereas in its ring structure or in its cyclic structure it will be having hemiketal as its functional group. Students, just like glucose have a open structure as well as a cyclic structure, similarly even fructose can be represented in the form of open structure as well as a ring structure. So students, you all can see the open structure over here. That is the first figure is of the open structure of fructose. Okay, so it is having six carbon atoms, and at second you all can see a ketonic group. Students, when the ketonic group will react with an alcoholic group, it will lead to the formation of hemiketal group. Now, my dear students, let us see the ring formation over here. So, please note the second carbon atom is partially positive, whereas the oxygen that is next to the second carbon is negative. Coming towards the fifth carbon has the oxygen which is negative and it has a hydrogen which is positive. So students, interaction between the positive and negative will take place. And now this will lead to the formation of two different molecules. So if we take now let us consider the first ring structure, that is the alpha D negative fructofuranose. So over here if you all see, we are writing the first carbon, that is the CH2OH group on the left hand side. Then at the second carbon you all can see that a OH group is being formed. So the OH group over here is on the right hand side, and a ring between the second carbon and the fifth carbon is being formed. So now what happens over here is the negative oxygen of C2 combines with the hydrogen that is positive of C5 and it forms a hydroxyl group. So the hydroxyl group in alpha is on the right hand side, and this oxygen which is there, the oxygen of the C5, it forms a ring. Similarly, students, now it can give different configurations. Either the OH group can be formed on the right hand side, or either it can be formed on the left hand side. So students, when it is formed on the right hand side, it is called as alpha D negative fructofuranose, and if it is formed on the left hand side, it is called as beta D fructofuranose. So students, as fructose have a five membered ring, sorry, it is a five membered ring with four carbon atoms and one oxygen atom. That is why it is called as furanose. Now coming towards the ring structure of fructose, you all can see that a bond between the carbon atom and the oxygen atom of C2 and C5 is being formed. Okay, and this hydrogen atom of C5 is bonded to the oxygen atom of C2. Okay, and it will give you all different configurations. And as it looks, as the ring structure looks like a furan. Furan is a five-membered ring having four carbon atoms and one oxygen atom. So students, over here you all can see that. Now talking about the anomeric carbon, again students, over here you all can see that the C2 carbons are ketonic carbons. So which on reaction with alcohol will lead to different configurations. That is, either the OH group can come on the right hand side or the OH group can go on the left hand side, and that is why it is called as the anomeric carbon. And students, the alpha D and the beta D fructofuranose are called as anomers of each other. So now students, again over here you all can see the bulky groups. When the bulky groups are on the same side, it is alpha, and when the bulky groups are on the different side, it is called as the beta. So in alpha configuration, CH2OH is one bulky group and OH is another bulky group. So both these are on the same side. That is why it is alpha D minus fructofuranose. Whereas over here, if you all see, then CH2OH and OH are on opposite sides in beta D. That is why it is called as beta D fructofuranose. We have already studied about the reducing nature of glucose. So similar to the reducing nature of glucose is the reducing nature of fructose. Now glucose has a cyclic structure with a free hemiacetal group. Similarly, fructose has a cyclic structure with a free hemiketal group. So in its solution phase, the cyclic structure of fructose opens up into the carbon bearing that hemiketal group. So during ring opening, the hemiketal group changes into the ketonic group, and that is why students, it has a reducing property, and fructose show positive taste for tolerance and fillings test. The next topic is disaccharides. So we have already studied what are the disaccharides. So disaccharides on hydrolysis gives two monosaccharide units. These two monosaccharide units are linked to each other by glycosidic linkage. Let us study about it. So in our syllabus, there are total three disaccharide units which we are supposed to study. The first one is the sucrose, the second one is the maltose, and the third one is the lactose. So when a water molecule is removed from the two hydroxyl groups of two monosaccharide units, the glycosidic linkage is being formed. Now over here, at least one of the two monosaccharide units should be a anomeric hydroxyl group for the formation of glycosidic linkage. Now what do you mean by anomeric hydroxyl group? So anomeric hydroxyl group is the part of the carbonyl group of that particular carbohydrate. So students, let us study about the first disaccharide, that is the sucrose. You all know the molecular formula of sucrose, that is C12H22O11, which on hydrolysis yields two units, that of one is of glucose and the second one is of fructose. Now students, the reaction or the formation of sucrose is not that easy. You all have to remember, or you all have to mug up certain things. Okay, so you all have to remember that the C1 carbon of the glucose, that is C1 alpha carbon of glucose, is being connected. So remember that the C1 of the alpha D glucose is connected to the C2 of beta D glucose. So when this is being satisfied, this condition is satisfied, the formation of sucrose takes place. Now students, let us study the formation of sucrose. So students, the first structure which you all can see is of the alpha D glucose, whereas the second one which you all can see is of the beta D glucose. Now how is it alpha and how is it beta? So students, we have started numbering from this carbon atom. Okay, so the theory of sucrose which I have already explained to you all. So as I told you all, sucrose is formed when first carbon atom of alpha D glucopyranose and second carbon of beta D fructofuranose forms a glycosidic linkage. Sucrose is basically obtained from cane sugar, and this sucrose is a dextrorotatory. So it rotates to the right hand side. So on hydrolysis of sucrose, it yields two molecules. First is D plus glucose and second is D minus fructose. So this is basically the reaction of sucrose, where C12H22O11 on hydrolysis gives one molecule of glucose and one molecule of fructose. Now we know that fructose undergo levo-rotation, whereas glucose undergo dextro-rotation. So the levo-rotation of fructose is minus 92.40, which is much more than that of the dextro-rotation of glucose, that is plus 52.7, and that is why the hydrolysis product which is formed, okay, it has net levo-rotation, and that is why the hydrolysis of sucrose is called as inversion of sugar of sucrose, and the product which is formed, it is called as invert sugar. So the sucrose which is formed is called as invert sugar. And yes students, this sucrose is a non-reducing sugar. What do you mean by non-reducing sugar? As the main groups of the monosaccharide units are the aldehydic group and ketonic group. But as both these groups are involved in the formation of this glycosidic bond of the sucrose, that is why, my dear students, these sucrose are also called as non-reducing sugar. So as sucrose is a non-reducing sugar, so it won't give a positive taste for Tolling's test and Felling's test. Students, the following structure which you all can see is the Haworth formula of sucrose. So over here, the alpha D glucose unit and the beta D fructose unit, they form a glycosidic linkage. Okay, and this leads to the formation of alpha comma beta 1 comma D glycosidic linkage. So we have studied in the previous slide how it is formed. So with the removal of OH group of the alpha unit of the alpha D glucose unit and the hydrogen group of the beta D fructose unit, it leads to the formation of this sucrose molecule. Is a disaccharide that is made up of 2 units of D glucose. Now students, in sucrose we used glucose and fructose for the formation of sucrose, okay, whereas in maltose we will be using 2 units of glucose. Let us understand how exactly is this maltose formed. So when C1 carbon of 1 alpha D glucose is being linked to C4 carbon of another alpha D glucose, it leads to the formation of maltose. So students, in the above structure, you all can see 2 molecules of alpha D glucose. I hope you all are now able to identify how to recognize whether it is alpha D glucose or beta D glucose. So students, over here on the C1 and C2 carbon, if you all see, then the bulky groups are on the same side. That is the OH group are on the same side, whereas this applies for the second molecule of glucose as well, so that the bulky groups are on the same side. So these are the 2 molecules of alpha D glucose. Now students, if you all look carefully, then we know what is the criteria of formation of maltose, that the C1 of one alpha D glucose and the C4 of another alpha D glucose will form a bond. So students, if you all see carefully, then the C1 of one glucose and the C4 of another glucose, they are in front of each other. So when you take these 2 molecules and when you all heat it, then there will be loss of water molecule that will take place. So in the dotted lines, you all can see that hydrogen from one alpha D glucose and hydroxyl group from other alpha D glucose is being lost. And this will result in the formation of a linkage. And that linkage is called as glycosidic linkage. Now students, maltose is a reducing sugar. Now why is it a reducing sugar? Reducing sugar means free aldehydic group. So you all can see that the second alpha D glucose which is there. So look at the first carbon of that second alpha D glucose. So over here you all can see a free OH group. So that is why this maltose is a free, it has a free hydroxyl group, and that is why it is a reducing sugar. As at 1 and 4th carbon you all are having a glycosidic bond, that is why it is called as alpha 1, 4 glycosidic bond or glycosidic linkage. Already explained you all about the structure of the glucose and the carbon atoms which are involved in the formation of the maltose. Now students, let us just see this explanation. So always remember what is the formula for maltose. It is C12H22O11, and one molecule of D-glucose reacts with another molecule of D-glucose and it forms a maltose. So always remember C1 of one D-glucose and C4 of another D-glucose reacts with each other and it forms a glycosidic linkage. Now students, as I told you all that maltose is a reducing sugar. Why, my dear children? Because you all could see that the second ring had a hemiacetal group free, and that is why it was called as a reducing sugar. Remember that the reducing sugars give positive taste for Toluen's test and Felling's test. That is, the color of the solution will change when it is being heated. Disaccharide which we studied was sucrose. The second disaccharide which we studied was maltose, and the third disaccharide which we are going to study now is lactose. I hope you all are familiar with this kind of disaccharide because it is present in milk, and the meaning of lactose is milk sugar. Students, in lactose something is lacking, and that is the alpha form. So always remember, in lactose there is no alpha form, there is only the beta form. Remember children, lactose is made up of C1 carbon of beta D galactose and C4 carbon of beta D glucose. Now students, let us understand the structure of galactose and glucose. So starting from the very familiar molecule, that is the glucose. Now students, if we are talking about beta, means what? The two bulky groups of C1 and C2 will be on opposite sides. So which are the bulky groups? Hydroxyl groups. So can you all see that the D-glucose has its C1 and C2 on the opposite sides. Okay, that is the bulky groups of C1 and C2 on the opposite sides. Now, if you all see, then the structure of galactose and the structure of glucose is quite similar. Only the difference is at the C4 carbon atom. If you all see, then for glucose at C4 it is HOH, whereas for galactose at C4 it is OHH. So for galactose you all have to remember that the bulky group is at the top, whereas for glucose it is at the bottom. As I have told you all that the C1 carbon of galactose will be involved in the glycosidic bond formation, and the C4 carbon atom of D-glucose will be involved along with it. So students, there is no need for flipping any molecule. It can be easily done. Okay, so students, the water molecule is being removed. So after heating, there is removal of water molecule that will take place, and it will result in the formation of glycosidic bond. So students, as the bulky groups were on opposite sides, that is why it is a beta. And as the first and the fourth carbon atoms of the respective molecules are involved in this glycosidic bond formation, that is why it is called as beta 1,4 glycosidic bond. Now students, let us see the theory behind this lactose. So you should always remember the formula for lactose, that is C12H22O11. Sucrose, maltose and lactose will have the same molecular formula. You all have to keep that thing in your mind. It is C12H22O11. So what is involved in the formation of lactose? So galactose and glucose. So the C1 carbon atom of galactose and C4 carbon atom of glucose is involved in the formation of lactose. Now again, very important thing, that is even lactose is a reducing sugar. That is because, my dear students, you all can see The hemiacetal group at C1 of glucose unit is not involved in glycosidic linkage and it is free. That is why it is a reducing sugar. So students, in this structure you all can see that the C1 carbon atom has the hemiacetal group free, and that is why it is a reducing sugar. And as it is a reducing sugar, that is why lactose will give positive taste for toluene and Fleming's reagent.